I
We
came
don't need
here,
them.
I've never. It won boots. I don't even know. Do we even still have boots? Where are they?
For what?
Eh?
How are you going to put on boots?
Jacket for what?
Prepared for fun. Do you know what the meaning of fun? Driving long distances, having fun. Love wasps, love scorpions, love rats,
Those are the
love
things.
cockroaches, love house flies. They're gonna be coming to your house. Love kangaroos. You're gonna be petting them. This is biology
You are
in
lying to
practice.
people. Hello, what's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to Neema Quests, and I'm your host here, Neema. And if it's your first time here, please, guys, make sure we continue interacting on the comment section. Make sure you continue liking, sharing. Anyway, guys, without further ado, I want us to dive into our conversation today, guys. Remember, we are on the mic, and guys, I'm not doing this alone. I'm with my favorite co-host, guys. Please say hi.
Hello, everybody. I'm David, one of the co-hosts here.
Yes.
I'm happy to be part and parcel of this particular YouTube channel. Just settled.
Aye, surely. But you're looking good. You are looking good. Well done. So, guys, today we are on episode 6, and we continue with our intriguing conversation. Guys, remember we've been talking about our relocation journey from Kenya, and then we talked about the UK. And guess, guys, finally you're gonna be talking about Australia. I know it's been out. This one has people have actually been waiting for this for a long time. And before we talk about Australia, I'm gonna ask my co-host, do you love Australia?
Definitely, as you can see, putting on a smile. Can you see my smile?
I can see your beautiful smile.
Thank you.
Or you want to go back to the UK? You know I can take you back to the UK. You want to go and suffer winter? The winter there is
The winter is
no
also
joke.
good.
Huh?
Winter is also good.
It's nice. You miss it?
Not really. I don't want to freeze.
You don't. Anyway, guys, so our topic today is gonna be the expectation versus reality that met us when we came down under. Because Australia, we call it down under because it is a continent. It is another world of its own. It is just Australia is it's there. It is uko.
That is a very good topic because those kind of building castles in the air, unakaa chini, you are thinking you're gonna be big, you're gonna be ground. What do people in Kenya say?
Ground, vitu kwa ground ni different, right?
What is that in English?
I'm gonna be translating it. It's not gonna be sweet. Things on what? Things on the ground are different, or things in the things, or in a layman's language, or just like some behaving like somebody who's learned, being demure about it is what. It's just the same thing. Expectation versus reality. Whatever you think is not what you get. Whatever you ordered is not what you receive.
Exactly. So, having said that, we want to go straight to the matter of our subject conversation. We want to dwell into. Go ahead, please.
Expectation versus reality, and on number 1 on our list, guys, we are gonna be talking about, guess what? Cost of living. That's what
Cost
I
of
put on the table.
living. When you mention cost of living, it is in two ways. The way I understand cost of living. Cost of living, when you're looking at cost of living, you're looking at the money that is coming into your account and the money that is getting out of your account.
Absolutely.
That sustains your life. Cost of living is your existence on this planet Earth. Your existence, I'm not being philosophical, don't look at me like you're doubting.
You want to start preaching?
No.
Because of cost of living.
I'm just building from the concept of cost of living.
Is it affecting you like that?
It's not affecting me, but I just want my viewers to flow with what we are saying.
I absolutely agree with you.
How much is coming in and how much is getting out and how much you are retaining in terms of savings. Back in the UK, there is money.
There is money.
Pound is very strong. It is stronger than the dollar.
I love you.
you have little amount of money, but your purchasing power
It's great.
is very strong. You
Uh-huh.
go to the supermarket with £100, you can get out with a lot of things. When you
Mm-hmm.
come to the supermarket in Australia with $100, you may think you're being conned. That's the point. You
I
collect few
know.
things and the bag is already $140.
Guys, the first time
Can you
I
imagine?
went to, cause like when you're coming to a new country, especially having used the pound, and then now coming down here in Australia, and I think in my head the adjustments or the calculations are still not yet settled in. So me, I went with my expectation going to the supermarket, and I went to Woolworth, and I'm buying things, and I'm like, what is not happening? Why
The
is it
prices
that?
are different.
Oh my god. I think
That's
for
why when you come over, you need to forget pound and adapt to a
but
dollar.
is it easy? To be honest, is it
It's not
easy?
easy.
It's not.
It's not easy. So, how much, when we were in the UK and we are thinking, people in Australia must be, maybe they are making good money, and us in Australia is making a lot of money. People are buying houses. People, of course, that is happening.
Yeah.
But we are just talking about the shock as a new, uh,
Freshman as a newcomer.
as a newcomer, as a new nurse coming in. These are things you are thinking about, but when you get to the ground, you realize there is no much difference in terms of salary with the UK.
Like there's there is a difference, but it's not, the gap is very little. And let me put a disclaimer before we continue, guys. The disclaimer is that whatever we are putting out here is just our opinions, and it's our views, and you are entitled to your opinion, and you're also entitled to your views. We encourage that people continue researching for information. You can get information here, and you can also get information elsewhere. So if you're planning to relocate to Australia, or you're already in Australia, I hope that whatever we are saying, not everything might resonate with you, but this is basically what we think about Australia. Having in mind we've just been here for only 4 months, so we are still on a learning process. Australia is different, Australia is big, so yeah, this is just our experience. Our people who are
Exactly.
living in New South Wales, Australia, specifically in regional Australia, Magi.
So, having said that, that is important to let people know that circumstances are different.
A different somebody in
Pay
Brisbane
pay as well is very
is
different in
exactly, so we have to put this
Australia
out
is a
there.
different country,
Yeah,
different
it's big.
continent. Each
Yeah, yeah.
each state pays its nurses differently.
Differently.
Apparently, New South Wales might be the
The
least
lowest.
paying
Yeah.
for the nurses. So that's why
Healthcare is, I
we
think,
may
in
not
general.
feel big difference in terms of
Yeah, yeah.
pay,
Because
especially for the government nurses. Remember, aged care nurses are being paid much better.
yeah, and also having in mind that somebody that is living in Brisbane, Queensland,
That is
doesn't
a different
speak.
state.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But what I'm trying to say is the conversation when it comes to income, it will differ, because somebody that is in Brisbane is not the same, like they don't get the same amount of money as a nurse as compared to somebody who works in New South Wales as a nurse. Their pay is different
Because they're in different states.
in
That's what we're
different
talking
state.
about.
So yeah.
Another thing is that, which is very important, when you're coming in, you don't expect to make a lot of money because you're just coming in and you're
Yeah.
settling in.
Hata in the
You need,
UK, when
even
you
in the
got
UK,
in,
wherever you
yeah,
go,
yeah,
because you need to learn the
you
systems,
have to
you
adjust.
need to learn how the systems are running, if it is agency, if it is all this part-time, if it is starting your own
Business.
NDIS employment kind of agency. So when you're starting, you don't get a lot of money,
No.
but there is potential,
There is potential.
and that is the most important thing.
Potential.
That when we are looking at expectations versus realities,
Reality.
the reality on the ground is not all negative. Of course, there are things that have shocked us, and that's why we are saying shocking things in Australia. For people who are just coming in, there are things that are shocking you on the first instance.
Do you
You land
think-
on the ground, things start shocking you before you settle in and you get used to the system.
Do you
And number
think
one is income and finances.
talking about income, do you think like when you're researching your relocation coming to Australia, do you think at some point people tend to exaggerate it and make it feel like, oh, it's like you're making thrice of what you're making in the UK, or you're making 4 times or 5 times. So people make it look like, oh, so you're moving to Australia. So when you're coming, you're thinking, hey, when I get in the first salary, I'm going to be already starting to, budgeting for a big house, budgeting for this.
Yeah, the circumstances are different, let
Yeah.
me tell you. The circumstances are different. We are looking at this issue in terms of the money you're making,
And then,
isn't it? It is better than UK. That is for a fact.
yeah.
No one should deceive. It is better than UK
It
because
is.
if they are coming, if they are, you are being employed, for example, in the rural areas, there's something called incentives. You get incentives of up to 20,000 Australian dollars. That is about 10,000 pounds. For those who are going to the rural MPS health facilities, the very small centers. Again, it depends with the facilities. So on top of the salary you'll be getting, their relocation package. Such kind of relocation package, I've not seen it in the UK.
I see.
So that is one big difference. So when they are welcoming you here, different hospitals, you'll find a relocation package depending on the hospital you're going to. But that is also a catch. The bigger the incentives, the rural the place is, because they have found it difficult to do what? To fill that position.
So they're trying
So
to.
they're trying to attract people from nurses from other countries to come and fill that position. The bigger the incentives, the more the difficult the job.
Oh, the bigger. So in short, the bigger the incentives, the more rural area. Oh, the more ushago utaenda. Sorry. Okay, you're gonna be in a more rural place.
Yes, it
Or
can
this,
be.
or civilization is far from you.
Yes. So the regional areas deep in the village, and villages are who could just tell people how the villages here
The villages.
look like.
I feel like
Can you paint a picture of how a village looks like?
if you've been to Africa, or if you're an African, and we all have, we call them ushago. So having in mind that, especially if you're somebody that comes from a town area or an urban area in Australia, first of all, one thing people don't know is that Australia is more of a desert type of a country. It's very dry. That's why the major farming here, it's cattle farming. So they farm a lot of goats, a lot of sheep and cows.
Semi-arid.
Yes.
Semi-arid.
So Australia is basically a very dry area. So if you're talking about rural area, it is literally rural. We'll come and talk about the sun and everything. So I was like,
Remember, cost of living. We are
uh-huh.
relating
Yes,
cost of
yes, yes,
living
yes.
to the area you'll be living.
Yeah,
Cost of
because
living is very
Australia, as we said, is a very big country. So you find that you're in a place where you're in a rural area, like people are scattered. People are scattered, where
People
you
are
find like your
scattered,
neighbor is
yeah.
living in their own land, or in their own ranch. Probably it is 100 acres of land. Somebody's living there, then there's another person living the same. So you find the houses are scattered. And if the towns are very small, because most people live in big farms, because most of them are farmers who farm cattle. So
Cost
you
of
find
living, yeah. I want to relate that conversation. Remember, we are talking about cost
cost
of
of
living.
living, yeah.
The further you are from the big cities, the less the access to amenities is. For example, when you go to the rural areas, you may find one supermarket or one shop or one school and one. So what does
Or
that
in
mean?
some places you find you have to travel like an hour
You have to
go for
travel.
shopping.
You have to travel long distance to go for shopping. Remember, there are hardship allowances, there are incentives, there are salary bonuses to keep you in those areas that are rural.
But there's an advantage
And
to
dry.
it. There's an advantage to it.
There are more disadvantages than advantages.
No, come on. We're talking about cost of living. The more you are in the rural area, the more money you get, number one. Number two, the less your cost of living is very low.
Okay, so you'll save more.
Yes, you'll definitely save more. There are no shops for you to keep doing shopping. Number two, you only budget for, like, your budget is very little. If it's food, it's specific. If you won't be buying clothes, when you're in the town areas, there's
So then,
right now
yeah.
it's November. We have November Black Friday. Do you think if you are living in town, you'd have already gone for shopping because you want to buy clothes, you want to buy this, but in the
So
rural area,
in that angle,
you
as
have
you're
to
looking at
plan.
it, if you're looking at it from that perspective, then when you are in the village, you don't have access to these things, flashy things in the supermarket.
Though it depends with where you are.
There are towns, but these towns you just have one shop, like we have said. So the cost of living will be low. Your rent will be low and all these things. But
Yes,
you'll
yes,
be
housing.
bored to hell in those small cities. You don't have someone to talk to. You just have
It does not
rural,
matter.
rural people. You making friends is difficult, so you'll be by yourself, or you have another colleague, 2 or 3. You don't have where to go.
But you save more. The most important thing is
so
you're
you'll
saving
save
more. Yeah,
So
you're
it's
saving
upon
more.
you to choose.
Yeah.
You cannot
save
have
more.
your cake and eat it. You cannot, you have to make a choice.
Yeah,
Where
you
do you want to
save more.
go?
You
So,
save more.
cost of living.
So
Be
it,
realistic. What I can say
it depends
before we
with
go to
where you
point two.
are.
Yeah, before you go to point 2. Cost of living. Be real to yourself. Remember, it is not all rosy. You'll be shocked. That is for sure. Your expectation might be met or might not be met.
Depending
but just
on
be
location.
true to yourself.
Depending on me, I'm gonna insist this because we have people, as we said, people that are living in the rural, deep rural areas of Australia. They might be facing other challenges, but when it comes to cost of living, their cost of living is very low, so they're earning a lot of money, and but they're not spending as much because, number one, housing. If you go the more rural you go, the more houses are gonna be cheap. Food is also not gonna be very, 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 very expensive.
That is for sure. And when I'm talking about cost of living and expectation versus reality, dollars. So if I do another extra shift, I'm getting like 2,200 pounds.
So you're saying 4,000
4,000 pounds
a month?
a month. So that can be a shock. Wow, I'm happy. Another shock can be, no, this is not worth it. This is too little. I wish. So this it amazes you. You are surprised. Just flow with what you get. Remember, when you're making a decision to move, gather as much information as you can. But even as you get that information, when you get on the ground, things will be different. Someone will try to paint a picture of how things are, but remember, factors are different. The location, the years of experience, where you'll be working, and all these things, they are very different. But just be true to yourself. That regardless, it is better in terms of potential. I'm looking at potential of growth. In the eventually it will pay off.
I think also something
And the potential,
else.
let me just expound on the potential. The potential means that you have the capacity to grow. You have the capacity. People have started their own
businesses,
NDIS businesses, agency businesses, care homes,
I think
and they're making very good money.
that is one thing I wanted to add on. Is that one thing I've really loved about Australia is that, especially if you come on a permanent resident visa, you are able to get opportunities of an Australian citizen, and the benefits of it is you can start your own business.
Potential.
There are many opportunities for you. So if you're wise, you can really maximize the opportunity and make a lot of money.
Exactly. So let's go to point number 2. We have exhausted cost of living.
Before that, something else is we've talked about cost of living, but there's cost of living when it comes to food, right? I know we did touch on something, but I have a question for you. Do you feel like food is more expensive here as compared to the UK?
It is slightly expensive, that is for sure. With the little pounds on top, it's slightly expensive.
Exactly. So I wanted that to be clear.
I think it is because of access as well.
And also Australians, they don't farm a lot.
They don't farm a lot, and then the access to food and services is very far from the other part of the world. So there's cost implication with importing all these food stuffs.
Yeah.
Vis-a-vis UK, it is access to Africa, to Europe, to all these countries. So
Yeah.
accessing food becomes a little bit
Yeah.
cheaper.
Yeah.
So food here is slightly
Expensive. Yeah. That's
cost
very
of living.
important.
There's a lot of things we can spend the whole 2 hours.
But it's so.
But it is important for people to understand that the cost of living
will vary
depending on all those factors we have mentioned.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then what we are emphasizing is there is potential for you to grow.
For growth. Yeah.
There is no limit. You can grow exponentially and make a lot of money.
Yeah.
That you can never imagine.
Number 2, let's talk about weather. How do you like the weather?
Shock.
Here.
Expectation. Of course, we were looking and we are saying that it's like Kenya in terms of weather. But upon arrival, it shocked us.
In a good way.
Can I say in a good way or in a bad way? In an excess way.
No,
I can say in an excess way.
I don't think so.
35 degrees, 40 degrees.
But when we came, it was during
You are sweating even at night.
Let's talk about winter first.
Okay,
let's talk
winter.
About winter. Because when we came, in the UK it was summer, and here it was winter.
And their winter is not as cold as.
So as compared to the UK,
but again,
what do you think of
the location where we are.
Because Melbourne is different.
Melbourne is different.
Yeah.
People in
Brisbane.
Oberon. Say hi to people in Oberon. They're freezing.
Hi, Mariam. Are you enjoying the weather?
People in Oberon are freezing. Other people in different parts of the country is completely different. So,
but let's talk about
Australia.
New South Wales.
Australia provides you with all sorts of weather. A lot of sun, a lot of rain. It depends with what you want.
So let's
it will
talk
shock you.
Our experience, specifically us who are living in New South Wales near Sydney.
So it is, the climate is good. It's conducive for us because we are used to hot and dry, hot and wet. We are used to such kind of weather. We are not used to freezing kind of weather. That's what I want people to understand. The way we were born in Africa, were we born in freezing? We are not. So we want to get to places where the weather is similar to where we come from. That's how we were created.
In short, you're saying
of course, we can adapt. But with the adaptation comes consequences. You understand what I'm saying? So New South Wales provides to us hot and dry. It can be extremely hot.
How hot?
During the day, it can go to 40 degrees.
I have a story to
degrees.
tell. I have a story to tell. Guys, let me tell you. The past 1 week, I understand human beings, sometimes we are not content, which is very wrong. Because the problem is when we were coming, we said, the UK, the weather is very bad. It's always raining. It's always like this. Let me tell you. The summers here in Australia are deadly.
What do you mean?
It's very hot. Like like if you're to put eggs, they're like the eggs are going to cook.
No.
You've not worked because I cycle, because I use the push bike most of the time. No, it is hot. Please, Australians help me.
Degrees.
And they're saying we're still in spring.
It is gonna shock us. That's what we are saying. Ground is different.
We are in spring and we're experiencing 35 degrees. What about when because
it can be muggy, it can be humid, it can be very warm. Even when it is raining, it is literally raining, but you are putting on your vest as you're walking outside. It's not cold.
Actually, it rained today and because I was
very
walking.
Warm.
Yeah.
It's raining, but it is very warm at the same time. Yeah. So it's not very cold. It's gonna shock you. That's what we are saying. Be prepared to get shocked. Yeah. But be prepared to get shocked. The reality on the ground is different. Again, depending on the location you are in, there are some places you'll go to. It's gonna be raining from morning to evening.
Melbourne.
You're gonna be freezing.
It's Melbourne.
You're gonna be freezing. So it's gonna shock you. That's what we are saying.
But what I did love about their winter is their winter was not as cold as the UK winter. When I came where I am, I'm talking about my location.
Climate-wise, the ground is boiling. Prepare your t-shirts. Prepare your vests. Prepare your shorts.
If you're coming to New South Wales.
Prepare your collar or your open shoes. Don't come with your okay. Don't tell people to come with their jackets. With the heavy jackets from UK. Do you want to tell people to come with their heavy jackets?
The funny thing is, by the way, where did our jackets go?
They disappeared in the aeroplane. Because
since I
we don't
came
need
here,
them.
I've never worn boots. I don't even know. Do we even still have boots? Where are they?
For what? How are you going to put on boots?
Jacket for waiting.
Actually, boots are discouraged because they can harbor snakes. Snakes. Can I show you some videos where snakes can come in those
We'll
boots?
get
Warm
there.
boots.
We'll get there.
So, guys, ground is different. Take note that it's gonna shock you. That's what we are saying.
Depending on your location.
Get prepared. Google where you, for example, where you're going. If you're going to Western Australia,
Google
what to put on, which clothes
and
to
what
carry.
to carry. Exactly, what to carry. Because you might go to places that are very hot. As I said, Australia is
hot. Extremely
like
hot.
desert.
Let's go to point number 3,
So,
which is the most exciting point of
wildlife. We are going to be talking about, let's talk about wildlife.
Again, the ground is going to shock you.
Wait, first of all, tell me. Wait.
I think before you come to Australia, they need to ask you a question. Do you love animals?
I do love animals, but I want to say this. I want to get this out of my chest. I remember when we were researching about coming to Australia, I went on the internet. And because people talk about Australian snakes, I said, let me go to the internet and at least mentally prepare myself on the snakes that are going to find me. You know, there's a time Aki did not sleep well.
Reason being?
Because I was scared. The snakes are going to come and, like climb on the bed or something. I was very
scared. When you are not prepared to like snakes before you came. You did not like snakes before you came. You have to love snakes before you came. I don't like
snakes even today.
But you must force yourself to like them. Because
even Australians don't like. Not all of them like snakes. Come on. Have you seen the black snakes here? Have you seen the brown snakes?
The black snakes with the red
belly bottom.
Do you know when I went to the park and I saw a small post saying beware of snakes. They have been seen here. The following day I saw on the Facebook post that snake had been a photo had been taken of that same snake.
How long was that snake? And I remember there's a time I was walking to work and I found
a snake crossing the road.
No, it had coiled itself like this.
That's why I'm telling people who are coming over, love snakes before you come. Start learning.
Are there snakes in Australia?
Of course.
So people should expect them.
Of course.
Are they your neighbors? First of all,
you're living with them in the environment. The environment belongs to them.
Now that the weather has changed and it's getting hotter and hotter, the snakes are going to be coming nearer and nearer. Because even if I was a snake, I'm not going to stay in the bush and it's that hot.
Course.
Do you know how hot it is here?
Learn how to live with animals in general. Not only snakes, but spiders. Birds.
What are the spiders?
Kangaroos.
Tell us the spiders that we're meant to watch out for.
I think they have got a red shell, like with a butterfly kind of lady.
Anyway, we have venomous. We have venomous snakes, spiders. Venomous spiders, and we also love our kangaroos because they are part of us.
Wasps,
they are part of our heritage.
Scorpions, kangaroos, all those things you'll find them. Be careful. Especially those rural areas you're telling people, where people are not so many. So
disclaimer, if you're going to the rural area, make sure that...
But that should not frighten you. That is just reality on the ground. We have to tell you the reality on the ground.
We have snakes, we have spiders, we have kangaroos, we have the maggie pigs. You've not told them about the maggie pigs. Remember when I was going to the gym the other day and I was cycling and that thing wanted to nini my face.
Is it the white bird?
Yes, the white bird with
they don't fear people.
Hey, but they poke your eyes and around your nose. They're called maggie pigs.
That's why we are telling you. It's gonna shock you. Remember, the ground
some of these
different.
Animals were not there in the UK. Some of these animals I never encountered them.
Exactly. But be free. It does not then mean you are not to come here. You understand? You'll be missing out on good things. There are so many good things, and those animals, some of them you can take photos with them, you can play with them like the kangaroos. You can
the
pet
koala.
them,
You'll also get the koalas.
The different species, nice. unique to Australia. Beautiful. You just need to coexist with these animals. That is the advantage. You need to learn ecosystem. You remember your biology? Now you have to apply it. Like they were telling you, don't kill snakes. be free
Ah,
with, be lovely to snakes, love the animals,
having that in mind, like in
call
Australia,
call the snake.
especially in New South Wales, killing a snake, like you're not allowed to kill animals, or
Don't kill
you are not
snakes.
allowed to kill snakes. If you do, you're gonna get a fine. So don't come with that attitude from back home, and you're like, if you get a snake, you are very
No.
quick on killing them. Here, it's not
Be
allowed.
be lovely to snakes. You understand?
You've
Call,
not met. I like the way he's speaking because he's not. The day he's
but
going
that
to
is
meet.
theoretical. That is theoretical. That's what I was taught.
Usituchoche, don't
That's
hype
what I
us
was
here.
taught. Like love snakes, love wasps, love scorpions, love rats,
Those are the
love
things.
cockroaches, love house flies. They're gonna be coming to your house. Love kangaroos. You're gonna be petting them. This is biology
You are
in
lying to
practice.
people. No
So
one
it's
is
gonna
petting those
shock you.
things. No one is petting. Don't lie to
It's
us.
gonna shock you. That is the ground for you. Yeah. Let's go to the next point.
Let's talk about adventure and the distance in Australia.
Hey, if they tell you we are going to drive for 1 hour, my friend, you are going to move.
Initially, what did you think that I'm gonna be
The
spending
distance
one
here is
weekend?
different. I think the distance here is different from the UK.
Yeah, because initially what you think is I'm gonna be spending one weekend in Melbourne, the other weekend I'm gonna be in Brisbane, the other weekend I'm gonna be in Perth.
You
Hey,
have to. I don't know. I don't know, 6 hours
Australia
flight.
is big.
6 hours flight
Australia
from here
is big.
to Perth. It's like 6 hours or 7 hours flight from here to Perth.
You are lying. 4
Or
hours.
6 hours.
4
Or
hours.
I don't know, 4 hours.
Don't lie to us. We know these things. Yeah.
I'm not lying. I'm just telling you. What if it is delayed? Your flight.
We are saying that people should give the right information.
But I'm just giving you. You go and find the small aeroplane has been cancelled. You have to wait for 3 hours.
But the advantage is in Australia is they've tried as much as possible. Every small town has an airstrip. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them. So here in Australia, you'll find that if it is good because it is a good, like, the country is big, so there are so many places to visit. But another disadvantage is if you don't know how to drive, come with your driving license. Come with a driving license, number one. Number two, prepare yourself to be driving for long hours.
Driving is a skill you need to start enjoying
And learning.
if you don't know. In the small towns, you'll not find effective public systems. You'll not you have enjoyed and been used to Uber and all this kind of taxis.
Kwanza in this place they don't have
public
Uber.
transport. So you'll find a place where there is no public transport, there is
Taxi
no
is
Uber, there's no
expensive.
taxi, or if you have a taxi, it's very expensive. You must learn how to drive.
And as you're driving, beware of
kangaroos
and those small, what are they called? What?
Even I've forgotten their name.
And it has a small, it has a bit difficult name to pronounce, but they're
I've
small animals that take people's car when they're driving at night.
Exactly. I've even forgotten the name of those animals. So, adventure is fun. There's a lot of fun. Be prepared for fun. Do you know what the meaning of fun? Driving long distances, having fun, across the vegetation, through the thick forests, down the rivers, up the mountains, to the ocean, and back. You're going to be enjoying a lot of adventure as compared to, okay, there's adventure in the UK.
But you can't compare. Australia is beautiful, man.
There's a lot of beauty. There's a lot of vegetation.
Australia is beautiful.
Landscape. You're going to be enjoying
Australia
and having fun.
Beautiful.
If you're a person who enjoys traveling, driving, going out to enjoy, this is the place.
I'm gonna recommend to you guys. I've been to Newcastle and I did a vlog of Newcastle. Please, if you come to Australia, make sure you visit Newcastle. Make sure you go to places like the Gold Coast in Brisbane. Exactly. There are so many places to visit in Australia. When you come to Australia, be prepared to to go for adventure. Don't come here and you close yourselves inside. Here the weather is good, it's suitable, and you can travel wherever you want. If it's raining in Melbourne, it is hot here. So please, come prepared with your legs, ready to run around.
Exactly. Something else that is very important. That is important. Can you remind people who are just joining us right now which show this is, what program this is? Over to you.
Yes, we are on Neema Quest, and we are talking about our relocation journey. here in Australia, and we started it from Kenya, and then we talked about the UK, and we are talking about expectations and the reality of Australia. And this is just the general view that we are giving, because the next episode that we are going to be talking about now, we are going to be diving into the job or the work life experience when it comes to working as a nurse here in Australia. How is it? Because nurses are eager to know how is
But
it,
even
and
not
what
not
is the process.
yeah,
Yes,
not only
yes.
for this video is not only meant for
No, no,
nurses.
no. This video is for everybody. It's for
It is for
everybody.
everybody.
But
Even
I'm
the other
telling about
videos
the
will
next.
be for everybody.
Yes, for everybody, but
Yeah, so
mostly
that no
about
one feel
nurses.
no one, so that when someone who is not a nurse clicks the button, nah, it's not a nurse. Ah, that is not for nurses. So we want to say on this show that it is open.
But are you not going to tell the nurses
Of
the
course,
process?
of course.
Yes, then assure them. Don't make them feel as if they're out of place.
No, they are not.
Yes.
I've been sharing information.
Yes, so you tell them that you're going to give them more information on the relocation journey. How was the process of
Together
coming?
with
How did you come here?
exactly
I will
together
represent
with
the dependents.
exactly and other people.
Eish.
Having said that, the last and the greatest shock
Culture shock.
is culture shock.
And easy interrogation into work-life balance.
Culture shock is whereby you find things are done in a different way, not the way you are used to. You start learning afresh. There is a way things are done here. There's a way people speak. There's a way things you have to say, you have to do, you have to interact. Understand? It's a learning process. Oh, these are things done this way.
Is it?
Oh, these are people. This is how people
Tell
learn.
us your biggest culture shock when you came.
I really don't have big thing because I've been traveling to different countries, So I've been to different countries. So for me, I've been open. So mine, I was just feeling pity for you because you're not used to traveling to different countries. For me, I've been traveling to, I'm not bragging, but I have seen the systems. You understand? So deep down in my heart, I say, hey, how are you going to survive?
Anyway, my biggest culture shock was the Australian slang, and how I feel like they talk very fast.
They talk very fast and they also twang and they have different.
It's not even about twanging. I feel like they have like some slangs they use.
And
like the first time you had like saying that the weather is muggy. What does that mean?
When they say that what weather is muggy, let's leave that. We don't tell our UK friends. Let's see what.
No, me I'll tell you. Say. Tell them. They want to know.
Humid.
Yeah, humid.
And warm.
And when they say they want a cuppa, what do they want? Can you please make me a cuppa, please?
You're gonna learn. Let's leave them to learn.
It's coffee. It's not even tea. I want a cuppa. I want what is it called?
When they say shithole, what do they mean?
This place is full of shithole. This place is rubbish. This place
disgusting and this place is. So you're gonna learn these things.
And they also say this thing that when they're asking for their cup and then they say, I want my long white, long black. Oh my god, Australians.
We're gonna learn.
You guys
that is culture shock for you.
The syllabus is going very fast.
You have to jump on the bus and catch up with the syllabus so that you can flow with the mutaratara.
But they're also very friendly.
They're very friendly.
Yeah. Australians are very friendly.
Smiling and saying hi to you and lovely at the workplace.
I've not yet met a mean Australian, to be honest. I have not yet met a mean Australian.
They are good people.
Most of them are very good, are very
very sweet,
friendly, and some of them
appreciative. They want to engage you. Where are you coming from? How do you find the country? Do you love this place? They want to engage you.
Yeah.
We are not saying that our colleagues are vice versa, but we are saying that they are more open.
Which colleagues? Are you talking about people?
Fill in the bracket. I cannot tell you. Yeah, I cannot.
Even guys in the UK were good, but they are very cold because of the weather. You can't blame them. The weather is the weather.
Some use the word some.
Majority.
The issue here is not being friendly and all these things, making friends, that long-lasting friends, close friends. It's gonna take time. to develop trust, to bring that trust into play.
I feel
it's
like
gonna take
especially
time.
in the rural areas,
It's gonna
Australians in
take
the
time.
rural areas, they are more
They are,
open-minded.
they are more open-minded as a stranger, but making friends, close
It's not.
friends. I've been to countries where
It's never easy
I
making.
have been to. Do you know that we have subscribers all the way from Norway? Say hi to our Norwegian friends.
How do you say hi in
Good, good Kiveld.
Gur?
Good Kiveld.
My accent.
Good Morgan.
Good Morgan.
To Sentak. Just say.
You're
Use
bragging
that
now.
mic.
Now
To
you're
Sentak.
bragging.
You have friends, by the way. You'll see them commenting.
Bonjour.
No, those are French.
Yeah, but me, I know French now.
Hi. Hi. You just say HEI. Hi. Hi. That
Hi,
is
hi.
hi.
Meow.
Hi. And then when you're
Do you know
greeting like
what's
this,
that?
when you're greeting like this,
Eh,
it's not like come.
eh.
Goodbye. You know, a friend of mine, they said, hello, hello, and he was coming. I was like, it means go away. It means like
this.
politely, goodbye, go away. But they are doing like this, goodbye, goodbye. So culture shock is very important for you to understand. But it will take time. It's gonna shock you, but it's gonna take time for
I feel
you
like
to.
it is
to
harder for
adapt.
people that have never traveled before, especially
If
to
you're
abroad.
traveling for the first time,
Yeah.
then it's
But
gonna.
if you've been in abroad, I feel like it differs with different places. What I've noticed is in rural areas, people are more open. But if you go to Sydney, most likely because we were living in London, we'll find that they have this. They are as cold as the other guys the other side.
Again,
Because of
it's
life
some.
balance.
Use the word some.
Some.
Depends with how many you have come across.
Okay, sir.
Having said that, it's generally you've got your expectations.
Were they met though?
They are even been by overpassed, if that word exists.
We have not talked about work-life balance before we.
Work-life balance is amazing. I think I am enjoying it because,
Reason?
for example, they have got shift pattern, 3 shifts in a day. Morning shift that starts at 7 a.m. until 15:30, 3 p.m. The afternoon shift starts at 1:30 p.m. and ends at 10 p.m. The night shift starts at 9:30 p.m. and ends at 7:30 a.m. So it's upon you to choose which particular shift works best for you. Take note of that. If you prefer morning shift, you go to work at 7, then you will be able to do what? You'll be able to choose your shifts.
So is it easy then balancing it with taking
It's
care of your
balance
family?
because you have so many hours at home. Of course, you can do an extra shift.
You mean you didn't have enough hours in the UK?
You have a 12 shift straight. Get to work at 7:30, leave work at 8 p.m. You have got 12-hour shift. Get home at 9:30, depending on where you stay. You've got few hours to the next day, and the next day starts at 7:30. You have to leave home at about 6:30. How many hours are you at home? If you have kids, are you able to see these kids? You get home when the kids are sleeping, and then you leave home when the kids are still sleeping, so you'll not be able to see these kids. Is that work-life balance? And if you're doing 2 days straight, you're not able to see your kids. If you're doing 3 days straight, remember you've got your shifts, you've got your bank shifts, you've got. Tell people to subscribe and watch our first episode or second episode to understand work in the UK. They will understand what I'm saying. So, but in Australia, in the UK, you are working less days. In the UK, you are working less days, but you've got more days off to do bank shifts. Here, we are working more days, but you've got less days at home. In a fortnight,
less days at home.
Yes, in a fortnight, I am working 10 days.
Wait, you're confusing
in a
us.
Fortnight,
You're confusing us. Wait a minute, you're going too fast. So you're saying in the UK, you work more?
I was working less days.
Less days,
Only
more
3
hours.
days in a week.
And then here in Australia?
I'm working 5 days in a week.
And?
2 days off.
So where does the work-life balance come in?
I can do my work and then spend the rest of the day at home.
So
like now I left work
listen,
at 3 p.m. at 3:30 p.m.
do this so that you don't take us in circles. Paint us a picture, or give us a structure of yourself, your own schedule, so that we
I've
can
just
use it.
said it.
No, let us use it as an example. What time do you wake up in the morning for your shift? If it's the morning
6:20
shift,
in the morning. I wake up at 6:20.
and you are meant to be at work at what time?
At 7 sharp.
And then when do you finish your shift?
At 3:30.
At 3:30. And it's meant to be an 8-hour shift, right?
Yes.
Then you come home.
Yes.
Then you go back to work the following day at what
At
time?
7 in the
At
morning.
7.
How many hours am I at home?
I don't know math. Help me.
So all the way, I've got so many hours at home.
Anyway, you do your own math. So if you're doing afternoon shift, what time do you start?
I am starting at 1:30.
And then you finish at
10 p.m.
And if you're starting a night shift?
I'm starting at 9:30 p.m.
And finishing at
7:30 a.m.
And how is it working there?
Because you can deal with your life at home and at the same time work, and you don't get exhausted as much. You have more time to rest. That is what we call work-life balance.
Okay.
That you can go to work as well as deal with issues at home, run your life at home as you are working, and you are not getting overworked, and you're not getting so much tired because you've got so many hours to rest. Remember, you can also do extra shifts. It depends with how you want to organize your life.
We'll talk about that.
Those
in
are
our
just
next
added
episode,
extra
yeah.
shifts. But with the simple structure of work in Australia, it is designed for you to work as well as live your life at home, grow your family, develop your family, be there for your kids, be there for your family. It balances.
Oh, having said that, I think there's also one thing I've noticed about Australia. What time are the shop closed? Especially here in the rural areas. By what time are the shops
10
closed?
p.m.
That is the supermarkets. What about the other small shops?
I think 5:30.
5:30. No, you're lying to us.
6
By
p.m.
5 o'clock.
Shops are closed.
5 o'clock, shops are closed. Remember when we were going to look for the lights for our car? What happened? What did that guy say?
We have closed.
And what time was it?
5 p.m.
Can you imagine?
Work-life balance, because that person has got kids at home. What do you expect? They have to go and have the family. So that is what we call work-life balance. That you can work-life balance aims to achieve a balance where you are developing, because you live once.
And also
You only let me remind our viewers. You only live once. You must make your life count. Who matters most in life? It is the people closest to you, and that is your family. You want to work and be able to pay the bills. At the same time, you also want to be there for them, especially for your children when they are growing. You want to be with your children, to go out with your children and play games with your children, to interact with your children. So the system has put that in place. It has developed a system that will be able to accomplish your life at work and also your life at home. Weekends, they give you extra bonuses, penalties, 100% penalties, 100%, 150% bonuses, because it is always a bit difficult to get people to come and work.
you pay double.
Because people want to spend time with their families, especially during the weekends. That is the most precious time to spend with your children. They have been in school the whole week. You want to play with them. You want to go having fun with them. But we need to be very careful. That is when people are getting paid bonuses and penalties. That's when people want to work more.
Africans especially. No, foreigners.
Be careful. People want to
No,
make a
don't
living.
get me wrong. Come on, that's the truth. A lot of us black people, we work more during the weekends because we want to maximize. You find that
But
a lot of them
always
during
remember-
bank holidays we work more.
Always remember
We are here to make money, sharp.
that we are here to make money.
Yeah.
But let there be a balance, because it is not going to be beneficial if you fall down with all those pounds and dollars in your accounts, and those who did not work like you were working are enjoying.
Oh, something else is the more you work, the more tax you
the more tax
they chop.
they chop. Having said that, those are things that have shocked us. I think we have got others that have shocked us, but we just highlighted the most
Yeah.
shocking things.
Or the most asked by people. Yeah.
And the most shocking, another shock which you are forgetting is the size of houses.
Oh, when you talk about houses, yeah.
Are they what
Nah,
was the
I love
shock
it.
positive or negative?
Absolutely, I love it.
Positive. Were you happy or you are regretting?
Excited, love it. Loving every bit of
Big
it.
houses, isn't
Big
it?
houses,
Big
massive.
compound.
Massive.
Massive compound.
Massive. At
It's
least
gonna
I
shock
have
you.
my own compound right now. Back in the UK, I was living in a flat, 1 bedroom, expensive.
It's gonna shock you for the positive and for the negative.
But the
Be
houses
real
are
to
big.
yourself.
Yeah, the houses are
What
big.
we have learned is be real to yourself. Just accept what comes to you.
It could work for you, it could not work for you. It depends.
Others have come to Australia and have gone back to UK, having said that it did not work for them.
Yes.
But what are the goals for your life? What is it you want in life?
Remember, we've said this, Australia offers a lot of opportunities. So Australia also is for the people that are ambitious.
It's for the people that are ambitious.
Yes.
And then
and wise.
We are not advocating for people to come to Australia, no. And then someone will be telling us, "Oh, why did you tell me to come?
No.
I'm regretting.
But
things are not working for me."
Use your own brains.
Choose wisely.
Use your own brains.
The world is open for you.
If you
Make
want,
a
you
wise
can go to the
decision.
and if you want, the country is open. The world is open to different places. You can go to Germany. You can go to Finland.
Canada,
you can go to the US. You can still remain in the UK.
Exactly.
You choose. You choose.
Make informed decision.
Yeah.
But remember, east or west, home is
the best.